Good morning. It's fun to be with you this morning, and we are so thankful. God has been so gracious to us in giving us a church like you to be part of our lives for so many years. I started coming to the church in 1963 when my family moved to Hibbing, and people like Roger and Gloria Johnson, many others of their generation, were the ones that taught me and by word and by example for so many years. And Eldon and I were married in the old church building before your church was built, your church building. So we go way back. One of my favorite verses is from Lamentations 3. It talks about the Lord's loving kindnesses indeed never cease, for his compassions never fail. They are new every morning. Great is your faithfulness. And I've held on to to God's faithfulness for many transition in our lives, from being a newly married Dallas Seminary wife, moving all the way from Minnesota to Texas. And then as we waited on God for our first baby, and in transitions as we went to Bolivia as well, through social unrest and homesickness in those first months, when I really wouldn't have minded being booted out of the country and having to return home. But that did happen, and God gave us 21 years of church planting and discipleship ministry there. And we still count many Bolivians as part of our friend group and spiritual family today. So it came as a surprise to us when God led us back to the States in 2005 to work out of SIM's international office in Charlotte. And during that time, I loved being a client advocate at our local pregnancy center, and Eldon used his gifts to lead SIM ministries in the Americas. And now God has used all these varied experiences and giftings to lead us to where we are today in the metro Atlanta area. This is home to many immigrants and refugees, and we are passionate about seeing people come into the kingdom here to love God with all their heart, soul, mind, and strength. And so God has brought the nations to us.
Yeah. Our world has changed. Just thinking of missions, it's changed so radically. Missions used to be, you're sent from your location to another part of the world, but our world has changed. And as Becky and I have followed the Lord's leading, we're now in a place where we're able to track what's going on globally. I did that program at University of Colorado on network theory, network leadership, and I've been tracking networks, Christian networks of parts of the body of Christ from all over the world. Every country of the world has believers in it now. And how do we work together? So I track these 780 some networks of where collaboration happens. And that's my unique little niche in ministry. So in February, I turned 70, and we've told our supporters, we've told you all there at the church, when we turn 70, we're going to move on to Social Security and live off of our savings. And that's where we're coming. Okay. So we feel it a privilege to have walked with you all this time and are so thankful. And now look forward to hearing how you are investing in other people's lives, other ministries. But we will continue on. So some people say Eldon's retiring. Well, not really. I'm not changing. I'm not going to change anything I'm doing. I work in urban centers around the world, building collaborative ecosystems. I work with people groups like the Uyghur out of China, the Rohingya out of Myanmar, groups that are unreached that are being spread around the world, and helping the parts of the body of Christ around the world come together and engage. I think I have the best job any Christian could have because I get to see what God is doing. So if there's any way that we can serve you all, please stay in touch with us. We'll try to stay in touch with you all, give updates. But thanks again for your faithfulness over all these years. Love you guys.